I'm Mike Albright. I'm running for District 3 Commissioner, or District 2 Commissioner. I'm not a politician, so I don't talk a lot. I've got a lot of experience in the construction industry. I built a Walmart here in town. The last few months I've been on the I-40 project downtown and the maps, redoing the streets downtown for the maps project. So I know what roads are supposed to look like. You know, that's why I'm up here, to make things better for everybody. Hopefully that's the way it'll work out. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Albright. And Mr. Leach.
My name is Kevin Leach. I've lived in Logan County for over 47 years. Grew up here. I've got my wife with me. I have 4 children. We have 2 boys and 2 daughters. I got 5 grandchildren, 1 on the way. And so I was a commissioner from the year of 2005 to 2009. We've seen a lot of accomplishments we felt that we got done for the taxpayers. That's one thing I took pride in, with all the things that we try to do for you taxpayers, to make sure your money's being spent proper and well and wisely. I've had a lot of people ask me to run again for commissioner, and I have always had the passion to continue to be a commissioner, because I felt like I haven't got to finish what I started back when I was commissioner between 2005 and 2009. I believe I have the experience to be the county commissioner for Logan County, because I was commissioner for Logan County for 4 years. A lot of people don't think there's a different task that a commissioner has to do. Everybody thinks that roads are the only thing that we have to deal with, but that's not the case. We have to make decisions for you as taxpayers to make sure your tax dollars are being spent wisely. We have to work diligently to make sure you have a county jail in your county for the safety and protection of the citizens of Logan County. At the time, we had a hospital that we oversaw, that we had a board of directors that ran it for us. We also have to make sure that our courthouse is maintained, and that all the county elected officials' offices in that building, that the building is maintained and properly with things supplied for it. We also have to make sure the tax rolls are being properly. Is it? All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
I want to first thank the First Capital Republican Women for inviting us here. I want to thank the Pastor Wayne Murphy for a wonderful prayer that he gave to us. I want to thank my wife for supporting me as well as she has. And I want to say that I have one up on Brooks Mitchell. I was born at Oklahoma City General Hospital on May the 24th, 1947, 65 years ago today. And that same year, it was purchased by the Sisters of Mercy, which then became Mercy Hospital. I graduated from Northwest Claflin High School in 1965 with straight A's. I decided to become an astrophysicist, and I bombed out on tensor and vector analysis after 3 years of calculus and integral equations. I then did 4 years active service in the Navy, going to Vietnam twice, and serving in country, and continued as in the active Navy for another 2 years. I then went to OU, graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy. I did 3 years internship at Children's Memorial Hospital. Children's Memorial Hospital, then 3 years as a registered pharmacist. But I decided that wasn't my cup of tea, became a phone man, did that for 30 years, and met my wife 33 years ago, and have now been married for 18 years.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson. All right, well, thank you all. Gentlemen, as you know, 2 of you guys have been commissioners before, so some of these questions, what we've decided to do is let everyone have an opportunity to answer them, but if you feel like you're not qualified to answer them at this point, just say pass, but we're going to give everybody their minute anyway, no matter how these are worded, okay? Is that agreeable? All right. Each candidate is going to have a chance to answer these, but if you don't, then just pass on. And you've got 1 minute, yes. After I get through. When you start talking, you have 1 minute. Oh, that's the first one. The first question is, how do you plan to maintain old asphalt roads not scheduled for resurfacing? Can't hear. Okay. Can you hear me here?
Here you go. See that. See that.
Hello? Nothing?
Power up. Get a power up. Has a power up.
Okay. While it's powering up, the question is, and I'm going to start with, I think I'll start with you, Mr. Leach. How do you plan to maintain old asphalt roads not scheduled for resurfacing? Everybody hear that one?
Well, first of all, you have to go out and look at those roads. You have to do a daily to weekly observation of those roads to see the potholes, see what kind of condition they're in. Then you have to schedule to go ahead and try to get material that you can patch those holes properly with. My plan is, if I'm commissioner, we will diligently be out making sure that those roads that are hard surfaced, that they're being maintained on a weekly, daily or weekly schedule until we can be able to come up with a plan and project to be able to have that road resurfaced. But maintenance is the #1 key to keep those roads together. I know there are a lot of them that are in pretty bad shape, and it takes a lot of money to patch them up. But as a commissioner, if I'm elected, we will diligently be able to patch those holes with blacktop material, cold patch or hot patch, whatever we feel that we need to be able to put them with. Thank you.
We have either paved or have funding for 18.8 miles of road. So far, we have replaced 6.5 miles of the old chip seal, asphalt roads, and I will by this next year certainly a minimum of 3 miles that I'll have resurfaced, completely ground up and replaced with asphalt. And next year I'm pretty certain of a CBDG grant that will get rid of another mile of that. I will also be grinding them up and putting a stabilizer in these roads that is going to be really, really good for the residents. So my intent is in the next 4 years that I'm in will be to replace all the chip seal old asphalt roads with good hard surfaces that'll be good for a very long period of time. Thank you.
I say that if there's a problem with the road, then it needs to be fixed right away. If you don't have the right material, use what you have, get out there and get it done, and make sure that that hole is taken care of as quickly as possible. If you have the money for the right materials, then put the right thing in there. If you don't, put whatever you have in there to fix the hole. That's it.
Okay, I've been informed that I'm not being perfect here, so I think if I stand close enough to this.
Well, if you turn it around.
Well, I'm just saying. Is that better? Is it all better? Okay, how about that? There you go. Okay. Here's the second question. Everybody ready? I started with you, Mr. Leach. Okay, Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
That's going to have to help me figure this out. This is the next question, and you're first.
Yes.
So I only did one question?
Correct.
Okay. Here's the question for everyone. Would you be willing to take a drug test and why? Or why not?
Absolutely, anytime, anywhere. Hair tests, follicle tests, no problem. I don't do any kind of drugs that's not prescribed by my doctor, who is Dr. Dickinson with Mercy Health Clinic down in Santa Fe. And I just actually did have a full physical yesterday, and he says that my blood workup is excellent. I'm in very, very good health, and he thinks I'm doing quite well. But yes, anytime, anywhere, no problem here.
Thank you. Mr. Albright?
Why, sure, that's part of the job. I mean, any job that you do now, you have to take a drug test. I don't see why not. Never have failed one, so that's it for me.
I'll take a drug test anytime. Matter of fact, I was county commissioner, the first county commissioner in Logan County to bring a drug policy to Logan County to have drug testing for our employees. So to answer the question, yes, I'll take a drug test anytime. I've taken plenty of them and passed every one of them.
Okay. Okay, here's your question. What is the biggest obstacle facing District 2? What is your plan to overcome the obstacle? And I'm reading these exactly how they're written. So what is the biggest obstacle facing District 2? What is your plan to overcome that obstacle? And Mr. Albright, I think you're first.
Yeah, I'll be the pivot guy here to pivot the microphone.
The biggest obstacle that I can see is the condition of the roads that are out in the country and the foundation that they're built on. I mean, some of them are clay, and those areas need to be fixed, and there needs to be gravel put down. The ditches need to be fixed. There's a lot of tin horns out there that aren't operational that I've seen, just from what I've seen. I haven't seen every road out there, but that's what I'm seeing.
Thank you.
Please turn.
Me? Well, the biggest obstacle I can see in the 4 years I was county commissioner was, biggest problem is trying to get the funding to repair and fix these roads and bridges. I think some things have been accomplished back when I was county commissioner through the state, through the legislatures, appropriating new funds for counties to get the roads fixed. I would have to say that I agree with Mike that one of the biggest problems with it is the terrain that we have out in District 2. District 2 seems to have a lot of hills, a lot of valleys, clay, sand rock. The biggest thing is, like I said, I think the funding is the biggest thing, and I think one of the obstacles that can be challenged and try to get done is work with the state leaders, work with the feds, try to get funding. When I was commissioner, we was really diligently trying to work with the state leaders and the feds. A lot of money it takes a lot of money to fix these roads. And that's all I got to say.
Absolutely, it's funding, and that's why I now have either paved or have lined up 18.8 miles of Logan County District 2 roads for paving. We have, $1.5 million coming in next year. Actually, it's more than that. It's close to $2 million coming in from state and federal grants. And we are continuing to get all the resources we can, but now our monthly income is drastically low. And each one of the 3 years that I've been in has been less than the most that the former commissioner received in any 1 year. So if you look at it from that standpoint, we have definitely done a lot more with a lot less than has been done in the previous term.
Thank you. Okay, and the fourth question, starting with Mr. Leach. Where do you look for funds to improve roads? Right here?
Well, there's several areas to look through funding. One's the state. We have a fund that was set up by the legislatures that the legislature approved. It was like over $50 million, $25 to $50 million. They started a program with called a circuit engineering districts, where they would oversee these projects. And you have to put in for those funds. You receive them if your project is picked. There's federal grants out there, numerous types. You have to be able to fill out the criteria. Most of the thing on the fundings is from federal grants, state grants, local grants. You have to fill those grants out. You have to compete with every other agency looking for those funds. You have to have the criteria that'll beat everybody else. That's all I can say.
Is it my turn?
I think it is. Yours?
Yes. Well, there's the CED. We belong to 5. There's ACOG, Association of Central Oklahoma Governments. There's also the Association of County Commissioners of Oklahoma. We have, as I said, 18.8 miles that we paved or funded. One of those is 4 miles coming next year, $1.5 million. We got that as an STP through ACO. However, we found that we could go through ACOG and get that sooner and more. That was 1.25. Now it's $1.5 million. It's coming on to that and should be coming down here this next year. So there's a lot of other types of funding. We have 2 sirens, tornado sirens that we've installed. We're looking for more across the county, and I do believe that here in the future we will be getting a lot more funding.
Did you want to vote?
I don't know as much as y'all do about funding, that's for sure. But you can bet I'll figure it out. I'll just have to see what I can do with what's there. And I have some friends in the state that I'm going to get with if I get in. And it's a lady and she's real knowledgeable about funding issues. So I hope to be able to get some federal grants and stuff like they're talking about, but I really don't know how it all works right now.
Okay. Next question. Since 2 of you have been county commissioners, and Mr. Pearson's one first. Since 2 of you have been county commissioners, tell us your biggest accomplishment as commissioners, mayor projects, etc. And Mr. Pearson.
Wow, gee. You know, I think really when I was campaigning for county commissioner, my dream was that when you went from Oklahoma County into Logan County, you couldn't tell. And it's getting to the point where we're in, yes, you will be able to tell because we have new roads. Midwest is getting paved, and we'll be opening the bid on that come the 31st of May, and we believe that'll be going here very quickly. So that means that when you go on Midwest going north of Waterloo, you'll be on brand new blacktop that's been chip sealed since 1972 by Holly Chapel. I do believe that's a major accomplishment. But I can tell you that the asphalt roads that we have put in have been quality roads. And if you'll go on Pine, which my goal is to go all the way from Waterloo up to Guthrie, you will be on asphalt. But you can definitely tell the difference in quality between my roads and the former commissioners.
Well, I had a lot of accomplishments when I was in 4 years, and I'm real proud to say that we, through some of the funding that we worked for, we did get one project that I'm really proud of. It's supposed to be coming. I think the engineering is supposed to start in 2013. Was for over an estimated $25 million project for Logan County. One of the projects is that in eastern Logan County, we do not have a paved road to run from Oklahoma County into Payne County. There was some funding available through the state that they told us commissioners, pick projects that you feel that you would never ever be able to fund. We did. It was a dream fund, a dream project that I wrote up. I think that's something that will help economic growth in the eastern part of the county, get people back north and south through our county, help the response times for our emergency vehicles and stuff. It's 15 miles of pavement road, 5 brand new bridges repaired or replaced. We have several other projects. We have. Anybody wants to ask those questions after the forum, I will tell you what they are.
I don't think it pertained to me.
That doesn't usually stop politics.
I told you I'm not a politician.
I believe the question's going to be yours or his first.
Yeah, he ought to go first.
Yep. Well, she's got.
Unless you don't what?
Yeah, she's got to be able to tell what it is.
Number 6, and let's start with Mr. Albright. Why haven't the FEMA sites been repaired when the county has received FEMA money? Now, I don't know what to tell you. Good luck.
I'm not in there, so I can't really tell you why that hasn't happened. I mean, I'm sure if you got the money, you ought to get out there and get her done, you know? That's all I can say. I don't know why it wasn't done.
Well, the funds they're talking about is FEMA funds from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and I was the commissioner that received those funds while I was in office during the floods that we had back, I think it was 06 and 07 we had some floods. We got $750,000. I fought those feds for almost a year to get those funds for bridges that were washed out, roads were washed out. We received those funds, and we were still receiving funds and more that we had working on. When I left office, there was about, I think it was close to about $500,000 left. I went in and made sure that I bought all the gravel for every one of those projects to repair those roads and put it in one stockpile to get it at one price before the price increased. We had bridges. We had 5 to 6 bridges that were washed completely out. We started those bridges right before I got out of office. Commissioner is in now.
All the bridges have been completed now. One of the two bridges that was already under construction, my engineer, I will not repeat what he said about the welding that was being done to that, but we did get some proper welding done on that, and that's a solid bridge. We have imported so far, I'd say 90,000 tons of material into the county. That's not including the FEMA money, and we have completed all the 07 FEMA sites. We are almost complete with all the 08 sites. We're talking about miles and miles of road with material, with build-up material fill and gravel, and we are just at the point of being completed with plenty of time left over to be able to complete these projects. But we're also paving roads while we're doing this, and I have, like I said, 18.8 miles that's either been paved or is funded for paving.
Thank you.
You bet.
Well, this question is directed at Mr. Leach. So I'm going to read it just like it says. Why did you change politics? Do you think you have a better chance to win as a Republican?
Well, you know what? I'll give you my impression of the politics. Yes, I changed from Democrat to Republican. I was a Republican before I was a Democrat. But the last I knew in the United States of America, you can make a choice to whatever you want to be, Republican, Independent, or Democrat, Baptist, Catholic, you know, whatever. I wasn't happy with the Democratic ways. Yes, I changed over to Republican. I think I got a better chance of being county commissioner again for filing as a Republican. We had a lot of Democrats that are not in the district no more. So I'm not playing this as a politics deal. I want to be a county commissioner, so it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Independent, or Democrat. I do it for all taxpayers, not just a certain amount.
Mr. Pearson, we'll start with you on this. Why are taxpayers being told that certain roads are not receiving materials for their roads because there's not enough voters who live on those roads?
That's certainly a new one on me. No, I have several parameters by which I decide which roads I'm working on, and I'm trying to do all of them, of course, but you can't do all of them. You know, if you lined up all the roads I have in my district, end per end, all the miles, it would extend from Guthrie to 50 miles past Houston, Texas. And I now have one backhoe. That's what I came in with. The previous commissioner, when he came in, had two backhoes. He had twice the equipment I had. However, now I am doing the best I can with what I have, and I finally have two front end loaders, which has really helped out a lot. I put my parameters on two items. Number one, the road count, population, that is, on those particular roads, but also need, dire need, and therefore, I do the best I can with what I have, and I am building roads. I am getting out, and the people who currently don't have them will.
I don't think it really matters how many people live on the road. The road should be functional. If there aren't enough people out there and somebody's in trouble on their road, I can get out there on the motor grader and get down there and fix it myself. I'll tell you I'll do that. I don't plan on sitting in the office every day. If somebody needs help, I'll be out there.
The one thing I'll say is, I was a county commissioner for 4 years, and I worked for everyone. Everyone deserves to have a piece of that pie of the tax dollars on their county roads. I've always tried to do what I could for the funding and the money that's coming into Logan County. You have to budget, and you got a lot of miles to go across this county. But that's one thing I will not do. I won't display for one certain amount of people. I try to do everything I can across District 2.
I thought I already did that, but I'll do it again if you want.
All right. FEMA and DHS grants require matching funds or other contributions from agencies receiving grants. 42 USC 5121-5207. What have you done to finance any obligations created by grants?
Say, what?
I'm not understanding the question.
Boy.
Okay, I'm gonna look at you now, and I'm gonna read it again. Okay. FEMA and DHS grants,
DHS?
that's what it says, require matching funds or other contributions from agencies receiving grants, and they cited 42 USC 5121-5207. What have you done to finance any obligations created by grants? And Mr. Albright, you're the next one in line.
Yeah, that's a good one. I have no idea what that's all about.
Oh, remember,
I'll
you
just
only
tell
have
you the
60
truth.
seconds.
I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe if I get in there, I'll figure it out.
I'm not familiar with those numbers. Trying to understand how the question is leaning towards. The only thing I can think of is obligating funds that you get through grants, on matching grants. As long as you put your match up, then you are showing that you're obligating your agreement for what the rules and regulations are for that funding coming in. I mean, that's the only thing I can understand about that one on that question.
Well, we get no money from DHS that I'm aware of. There's no grants for that. Currently, we have $1.5 million coming on 4 miles up Douglas, from Waterloo up to Forest Hill. A road that was only a local road only when I came into office, and I was able to get that reclassified as a major collector road and therefore make it available for federal funding. So 80% of that is federal, 20% of that comes through our CED as a SERB money, which comes from tag and title tax. That's state money. We have a lot of other sources that we'll be doing with that. A CBDG comes from that's a community block development grant, comes from the Department of Commerce, and is going to be about I believe it was $105,000, and then for 2 miles of pine. Then there'll be in-kind labor as part of the match, and then we'll have to come up with funds somehow or another for just a few dollars. Thank you.
Okay. Well, this is the last question, and then we're going to take a 5-minute break after we have this last question answered. It's a pretty broad question, but it was written down. We're going to respect it. We're going to ask it. But after that, each one of you gentlemen are going to be able to ask the other one question, a very quick question, and the person that you address the questions to, as we've told you before, you'll have 1 minute to answer. But let's finish this really broad question out first. And Mr. Leach, you're first. What are your plans for District 2?
My plans for District 2, if I'm elected county commissioner, is to get back in there and start looking for more alternate funding, start maintaining roads on a regular basis instead of just here and there. Try to build some more new bridges. I think that's one thing that we need to try to do, is get some more bridges for the safety of the taxpayers and especially our children riding on school buses. Make sure that our tax dollars are being spent no matter where it's at the county courthouse. There's a lot of stuff to do in this county that needs to be done. It's been a long time coming. I think there's a lot of steps that's been made to try to get more funding for the roads and bridges. I will be a county commissioner that'll be diligent on making sure that everybody has a chance to call me, tell me what you want. Thank you. Which one's next?
Me? Well, I have funding or have paid 18.8 miles of Logan County District 2. My predecessor, 4.8. I will be using material that requires very little grading, is very stout, and never gets muddy. I am using a new type of stabilizer, which in a lot of the roads that will make them hard and not need grading for possibly as much as 5 years to 10 years. Hard to say. At this time, we're still testing the product. But we are building the roads, and we are building out to the very farthest areas of our county. I've done extensive work on Potawatomi, which is the Lincoln-Logan County line. I have done, and remember too, we had 2 snowstorms that were incredible. Floods. We've had all the things to contend with that everybody knows quite well.
Well, I plan on getting out there and doing what I can with the funds that are there, but I think that the ditches and the tin horns that are in some of these roads are atrocious. That's just in the area where I live. I haven't seen every road that's out there, but I think that the ditches and the drainage needs to be taken care of so that the roads will hold up when we get these hard rains. I don't know about your roads, but the roads where I'm at, the water goes down the road and washes the road out because the ditch isn't there. I plan on fixing that.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. What we're going to do next is a short question, a burning question that perhaps you've been dying to ask these other 2 gentlemen. So I think I'll start with Mr. Pearson, and you can ask a question to these 2 gentlemen if you choose, and if you don't, then you don't. You have a minute to respond, both of you, to what Mr. Pearson is going to ask you. And if you choose not to do that, then just say pass, and then we're going to wrap it up with your closing.
I would like to ask Mr. Leach, how do you spell commissioner?
Are you serious? C-O-M-M-I-S-S-I-O-N.
Ah, it's not on your campaign signs that way. That's why I asked.
Okay.
All right, let me go through these rules. This is not a town hall.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is not a town hall, so please adhere to the rules. So you get 1 question. You do not get to rebuttal what the person says, okay? So do you have a question, Mr. Pearson, for Mr. Albright?
Yes. Do you have any knowledge about the funding that Logan County receives at this time?
Nope. But I'll figure her out.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pearson. Are you done, Mr. Albright?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Leach, it's your turn to ask your question to both candidates.
If you are elected as county commissioner, what is your major goal for the taxpayers?
I'm going to make sure their money gets spent right, and I'm going to make sure that there's a schedule. Some of those roads are not in any kind of shape to be driving on, not to mention the ditches. That's it.
Do you need the question repeated, Mr. Pearson?
Yes, again, what was that? What are my goals?
What is your major goal if you're elected as county commissioner for the taxpayers?
For the taxpayers. I believe in limited government, free enterprise, and personal responsibility. It's the reason why I'm a conservative Republican. I believe that the taxpayers are already paying all the money that they need to be paying for us to be able to do what we're doing. But I don't think it's been used wisely. It's one of the reasons why when the former commissioner gave himself and the other elected officials, I might add, 2 large pay increases, I was determined to give that back to the district, which I have done now every year since I've been in office. Grand total of $4,000 per year out of my pocket that was spent on District 2. The latest was the striping on Roller Coaster Road for 0.8 miles and also for Prairie Grove for 0.8 miles. And then there was about 800 left over, which I just put in M&O.
Thank you. Let's see, if Mr. Albright, do you have
Your
a
question.
for- do you have a candidate? One question? It can be a different question.
No.
Okay. All right, thank you, guys. What we're gonna do now, and I think I'll start with, I started with you for opening. So I think I'll just go down the line. I don't know any other way fair to do it. So you've got 2 minutes to give us your thing.
Well, I'm sitting here in front of you, you are the taxpayers. That's one thing that I will do. If I'm elected as county commissioner, I will work for you. You are my boss, each and every one of you. The one thing I will make the dedication to you, if I'm elected, I will make sure that your money is being spent wisely, diligently, and make sure there's honesty, integrity brought back to Logan County. I will work real hard with the other 2 commissioners to make sure that your tax dollars are being spent right. It would be my duty as county commissioner to work with our local sheriff to make sure our jail is being properly run. Work with our elected officials in each office at the courthouse to make sure that they have what they need to do or have the tools they need for the taxpayers of whatever their office has to maintain. I have 4 years of experience. I think that what my experience was in the 4 years, you're not going to know it all. But if I get back in there, I'll continue my learning of new funding sources. I have a lot of knowledge and equipment. Been in the construction business basically ever since I got out of high school. When I took pride in when I was county commissioner, we had a lot of old equipment that was a lot of money being spent, the tax dollars being spent. I saved quite a bit of tax dollars getting rid of that older equipment and getting newer equipment. It's been said that the current commissioner has less equipment. I don't understand because I left a lot of brand new nice equipment to be able to fix the roads to try to save your tax dollars. So, but that's what my goal is. I will work for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leach. Mr. Pearson?
I believe in total open government, and therefore you can get on my website, commissiondistrict2.com, and you can find out every penny that we spend and what it's for and how we get it and how it comes through. You can see all our road projects. I was a phone man for almost 30 years, and I totally believe in communication. So as a consequence, I have been giving out my cell phone number like it was candy. Everybody has the ability to communicate with me on their needs and wants. And I do respond, and I respond at our very first opportunity. It doesn't matter whether they're the only person on the end of a full mile of road or what. I do respond, and as quickly as we have the ability to do it. We have a very, very few resources, and when it comes to resources, that's what I do as a county commissioner, is I develop new resources. To do that requires communication, and I have lots of ability for communication, a lot of ability to be able to put hands together. I communicate well with the oil companies, and we're getting a lot of things out of them because of all the damage they're doing, as well as a lot of other places that we get resources. That is what it requires. The monthly income we have is atrocious. And we are also building that by creating a road district trust authority that will enable us to start doing road projects on our own. We are building. We were in a nosedive when I came into office. We have now leveled out and we are climbing. We will be getting 18.8 miles and more, because I will be working for more of those. We are getting more major collector roads because of the huge increase in the urban people who are coming into Logan County.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Logan, you get the last word.
I'd just like y'all to thank y'all for showing up. It's been a pleasure to be able to talk in front of you. I'm not a politician, I told you that to start off with, but I am experienced. I mean, that's all I've ever done all my life, build roads, and that's what I plan on doing for y'all. If the good Lord says it's in the plans, that's what'll happen. That's all I got.